They are still top of the table by the time that World Cup break comes around. Do the Arsenal board have some decisions to make in January? Because my issue with Arsenal when it comes to challenging for the title is not just how good Manchester City are and how good Erling Haaland is. It's the lack of squad depth. And I think we saw that in the Europa League because they were poor against PSV on Thursday night. No question about that. Gabriel Jesus, when he doesn't play, Eddie Nketiah comes in, no goals in 12 in the Premier League. If you rest Partey or Xhaka, Lokonga is the backup, not good enough for me. Even at left back, they've missed Zinchenko. Tierney, not quite the force that he was even last season. So I think if they are still there, the only way they can really challenge for the title is if the owners go out again and back Mikel Arteta with big money.
Interesting take there from Alex Cook. And I think a lot of people, including Arsenal fans, would agree with him that January there needs to be reinforcements, not just for this title push that Arsenal were in, but in general. Lokonga hasn't gone to another level as of now. Eddie Nketiah, when playing, hasn't responded to this new deal that he's got. But this notion that Arsenal can't challenge, this notion that it's just impossible, and the PSV defeat and the second half performances against Leeds and Southampton are suddenly this, that they're the smoking gun that Arsenal are kind of punching above their weight and not really meant to be where it is they are right now. For me, I think it's people are playing a dodgy hand here. It's a little bit of a fugazi. We're forgetting that Man City have only won 2 of their last 5 games. They have been beaten in the Premier League by a terrible Liverpool side. Liverpool right now, probably the worst they've been in a long time under Jurgen Klopp. And I actually think this is a worse run than when they lost 4 or 5 on the bounce at Anfield a few seasons ago, because they had like 3 or 4 star players out. They had no centre-backs available during that run, no proper centre-backs available during that run. They pretty much got most of their squad, barring an attacking player. You know, their defence is pretty much where you would want it to be, and they're getting beat. But City failed to score in a couple of Champions League games, but no one's criticising them. No one's looked at the fact that I know they won at the weekend against Leicester, but without Erling Haaland, they look a little bit toothless. Now, I know that City have got credit in the bank, but this consistent, you know, we're like a quarter of the way, nearly a third of the way through the season in all intents and purposes, and still this writing off of Arsenal. It's just boring now. This is what he also went on to say in this, in terms of disregarding Arsenal.
Can finish second.
Second in the Premier League now, yeah?
Behind
He's not talking about Arsenal. Listen to this.
who?
City.
It's a City and then United. That's what you're saying.
Do you know why?
Look at our Arsenal
No,
supporting producer.
whoa.
let me
Just so
explain.
we know,
Go on
Sunday
then.
the 30th of October.
Let me write this down.
Sunday the 30th of October. Cookie, you are saying it's going to be City and then United.
I'm saying it can happen, and these are the reasons why.
Go on then.
You look at the fixtures that United have had already this season.
Okay.
I've got the table in front of me. Arsenal top, beat them. Man City second, obviously got hammered. Tottenham third, beat them. Newcastle fourth, got a point, which looks a good point when you look at how Newcastle are playing. Chelsea is sixth, got a point, should have won that game. Brighton eighth, beaten. I think if they met again now, it would be a different outcome. Liverpool ninth, smashed them at Old Trafford, as you will remember. So they've played most of the teams now, barring Fulham, in the top 9. That means they've got a lot of the lower ranking sides still to play. Now, I know that can be difficult because obviously you get teams who sit deep behind them.
I just want to stop this here. I want to stop it here and say, listen, Man United are doing very, very well. I'm happy with the progression of my football club. I'm very happy with it. But we haven't look. We've done very, very well. But if you look at Arsenal's record this season, yes, they got beat by Man United at Old Trafford, but they smashed Tottenham. They were excellent against Liverpool and thoroughly deserved to beat them. The only reason they didn't play City was because of the postponement of their game against PSV, and that has been moved. But I fancy them in that game. They go away to Chelsea this week, and Chelsea fans are scared of them. Is Alex's mind going to change if they beat? Well, they beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. You know, Arsenal this season have been very good in every single game they've played, barring 45 minutes against Southampton and about 35 minutes against Leeds in the Premier League. Every other game, Arsenal have been so superior. Man United are getting better. We're getting better all the time. But we saw yesterday in the second half of the game against West Ham were not quite the complete article yet. You know, we had moments when we won away at Everton, not quite the complete article. In the majority of Arsenal's games throughout the course of the match, they have been the superior team by a long, long way, irrespective of who they have played. And again, this squad depth argument kind of comes in, and look, I just don't think people are taking Arsenal seriously still. They're still using them as a kind of stick to beat people with. But as a Man United fan, I don't want to hear this, because this now puts unnecessary pressure against my club. We have not been as good as Arsenal over the entirety of this season. And I think to start these mad claims that we could finish ahead of them is crazy. And I don't understand the Arsenal disrespect. It's almost, they give out a little bit of respect and then they take it away. They give it out and they take it away. They just can't find it within themselves to say Arsenal have been the best team in the league and they are in this title race. However, Jamie O'Hara is very much conceded now. Like, in my opinion, when you listen to this from Jamie O'Hara, Arsenal have broken him. Arsenal have actually broken him. By the way, smash the like and share button. Leave your comments below. Listen to this from Jamie O'Hara.
Mentality of us at the start of games needs to change. It's like we're waiting to go 1-0
So he's talking about Tottenham here and the fact that they're starting games so slowly, defensively and poorly.
down. And then when we go 1-0 down, it's like, right, now we've got to go and play. Now we've got nothing to lose because we're losing anyway. And then we go and play. And then we blitz teams. And that's what I don't understand.
I think you're exaggerating a little bit in terms of blitzing teams. When you look at Tottenham, in terms of their recent form, I don't necessarily know if that's true. I'm going to go and take a look. I want to make sure that I'm not chatting any breeze here, but you obviously didn't blitz Sporting Lisbon. You didn't blitz Newcastle. You didn't blitz Manchester United. You did very well against Everton. I'm just going back for the last 5-6 games here as an example. You didn't blitz Brighton. You didn't blitz Frankfurt. You didn't blitz Arsenal. You blitzed Leicester. So the last time you blitzed a team outside of Bournemouth at the weekend was all the way. When's the date on that? It was the 7th. It was over 6 weeks ago. Come on, O'Hara. You don't quite blitz teams, but I hear your point.
Start the game like that. And if you go 1-0 down, fine. But at least start the game on the front foot and going out. It's like we're waiting to get beat all the time. And it's frustrating because we've got so many good players in the squad in terms of what we could actually do. And it's one of them. It's one of them. I think we've got to just accept where we are in terms of how we're playing. People are going to moan. People are going to criticise. But we are third in the league. We are.
Yeah, Jamie O'Hara's right here. Tottenham fans, I think Tottenham fans have to drop how they're playing. It's been discussed now enough. This is what you are. Very pragmatic, very defensive-minded. You're not going to play like Arsenal. You're never going to be Arsenal. And I think Jamie alludes to that.
Are in the Champions League spots. And I think the problem is because Arsenal playing so well, everyone's really looking at Spurs. Oh, Spurs, Arsenal.
Exactly. As I said weeks ago, Spurs fans are rattled by how good Arsenal are because they had this little period in history where they were the better team. And for a period of time under Poch, you could argue played better football as well. That is now gone, done and dusted. Trophyless as well, I will add. And that's been getting under the skin of Spurs fans. O'Hara's right. They've got to drop it.
And we just got to forget about Arsenal.
And that's what he says there. Forget about Arsenal and focus on yourselves. It's what you have to do. But why is there also a focus? Spurs fans built this up, and Jamie O'Hara was one of them. Take a look at this.
Because I just don't think Arsenal are going to be pulling up any trees in the next few seasons. I can't see them going out spending big money. He should go Tottenham because they're a club who are going to...
Hang on a minute. What? Why would you go to Tottenham if you wouldn't
because
go
we're
to
miles
Arsenal?
above Arsenal.
Well, you're not. You're
I'm just saying, this is why it's there. And I said on the reaction show yesterday, I don't want Arsenal to be this good. I certainly don't want them to be better than Manchester United. But you live an easier life when you accept it. And the fact that O'Hara, who is pretty much probably the most famous and most recognizable face of the Tottenham community online nowadays, of course, TalkSPORT have just gone to another levels in terms of content creating, and everything else. He's been their mouthpiece. The reason Spurs fans are angry this year is when you actually look at it in reality, it's like, well, you're third in the league, one of your best starts ever to a league campaign. But the reason they've been angry is because they are so desperate to be Arsenal. Let's take a look here, just changing things slightly. Another crazy take from Graham Souness on Lisandro Martinez. Listen to this.
Lisandro Martinez.
Yes,
Is that a better player?
That worry for me is still there. If you watch at set pieces, he's either used as a blocker or they use him on the near post. I mean, he's not got the physique to take on the big guys and man them.
So you are right here. We don't put Lisandro Martinez man for man with 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" players. You're absolutely right, Graham Souness. Why would we have someone 5'9" mark somebody 5, 6, 7 inches taller than them at set pieces? Why would we do that?
Mark them man for man.
Which better players have they bought under this new incarnation?
I think he's brought a bit of aggression to them. I think definitely has brought a bit of aggression. And my experience with dressing rooms are, if you've got a couple of people that are willing to stand
I want to say with Souness as well, he goes on to say that that's essentially all Lisandro Martinez is. He is just aggression. He's brought us aggression. He's brought us a little bit of leadership, but that's it. And he keeps on saying that, and he keeps on saying it, and he keeps on saying that.
What he's doing.
I mean, we've played 12 games. I mean, surely there's a lot to like him. I like his aggression.
Again, aggression.
You know, the first thing he did when they played Liverpool, if you've got to cast your mind back at Old Trafford, he's gone right through Mo Salah. Mo Salah for the rest of the game was looking early on. For the rest of the game, Mo Salah was looking for him. I like that. I love that. You know, that's it's professional sport. So he did his job very early on. Mo Salah, who the rest of the game was looking over his shoulder. There's a lot to like about him. I just feel when you're that size, you will get caught.
And he's never able. He like everybody else is not able to explain what they mean by this. Virgil van Dijk at 6 foot. What I'm going to guess 6'4". I don't know. Let me Google it now while I talk. Van Dijk, right? Van Dijk height. How high is he? I'm going to say 6'4". Oh, he's one. What is he? If he's 1.93 meters tall, what is that in? What is that in? He's 6'4". 6'4". I thought he looked about 6'4". But I've seen him get caught, both on the ground and in the air. Everybody gets caught. One of my favorite fighters in the world is a guy called Michael Venom Page, and he fights with his hands down. And he was questioned once, like, why do you fight with your hands down? Are you not scared of being knocked out? And he just responded by saying, have you seen fighters fight with their hands up? And the guy goes, yes. And he said, and have any of them ever been knocked out? Ended the interview.
You'll get pinned in the box.
Well, he's not getting any bigger, is he? So
he'll get pinned in the box, but there's a lot to like about him. And
you think he might have gone a bit previous in Martinez, Graham?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. I still think, I don't think he's terribly quick. I don't think he has to be, I don't think he's terribly good on the ball.
So you see that laugh there from him, right? This is the problem. When you're capping, when you're lying, when you're making up an agenda, sometimes you start to laugh because you realize, almost you consciously realize, I sound a tit. I sound an absolute tit saying this. To suggest that Lisandro Martinez isn't quick. Now, no one is suggesting he's Usain Bolt, but he's quick. To say that he's not very good in terms of passing the ball out from the back, distributing and carrying the ball forward is an absolute lie. His distribution and speed across the ground, coupled with the aggression that he mentioned, are three of his biggest assets. But also his timing and positioning is absolutely impeccable. And his ability to win the ball in the air is pretty damn good. This notion that he's going to get pinned down, by who? By who? Look at the plethora of striker that he's been up against. Barring when we played Man City and Haaland and co destroyed all of us, the whole team, no one's pinned him down and destroyed him. Crazy to me. But as I've said many, many times before, Arsenal, number one, followed by Man United when it comes to a lot of the media outlets, a lot of the mainstream media, public enemy number one, always chatting a load of old cap when it comes to us. But I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Make sure like buttons are being smashed. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. See you soon.